Welcome to Compai's Expat Channel. I'm Compai. I am Sosua's voice of reason. If you watch my channel, you know I'm predominantly about real estate, and I talk about cycles a lot. Has Sosua flatlined in its real estate market? Let's talk about this.
There's a lot of places to rent in Sosua. If you're looking for peaceful, affordable, and tranquil, look at Casa de Compai, Sosua's hidden gem. When you're ready to reserve at Casa de Compai, my contact information is in the description down below.
Thank you for watching my advertisement for my business, Casa de Compai. Guys, if you're looking to rent a condo for a vacation, a month if you're a digital nomad, my contact information is in the description down below. So, I love the real estate market. I've been doing real estate for a very long time. The thing that I like to push the most is knowing cycles. Ups, when are we at the top of the cycle? When are we at the bottom of the cycle? You really don't know until you're in it. You kind of know when it's a run up. You see all the prices increasing. You know when you're heading down because you see everybody selling. You see prices falling. The Dominican real estate market follows the American market, in my opinion. So let me give my 2 cents on how the American real estate market works. Everybody gets a mortgage. Very few people buy cash. So you put 20% down, you get your mortgage, you pay your mortgage for either 15 to 30 years, depending on the length of your loan. Then if you have equity in your house, when the prices increase, a lot of people get a home equity line of credit. They take out a secondary mortgage. They buy things they really don't need, boats, campers, villas in the Dominican Republic, condos in the Dominican Republic. So they max out the equity in their home with loans. Then the economy turns. People lose their jobs. People get sick. Divorces. Now they can't pay their mortgage. So now you have a bank takes that property back. And when the market's in a downward trend, the banks are taking back more properties. Banks don't want to be in the real estate market. They're not real estate companies, they're banks. So they unload them, they foreclose on them, and they just sell them on short sales. They sell them on a foreclosure list. They just unload those properties, what drives the market down even more. We don't have that down here. This is where the Dominican Republic differs from the United States. Most of the properties down here are bought in cash. Yes, you're having veterans are able to get loans now. Police are getting loans, firemen are getting loans. Anybody that has a secure retirement payment plan. They like to see the military pensions, they like to see the fire, something from a government. They'll give you a loan without having residency in Sosua. But that's not the norm down here. Most of your properties down here are bought cash. So when we get into that downward push, you don't have the banks taking all the properties back. So they're not unloading them. So what's really left on those houses? Well, if you're in a gated community, you have those fees, which easy to say, are under $500 a month. Mine are $450 where I live, which is nothing when you really, really think about it. I wish my property taxes in New Jersey were only $450 a month. But my $450 a month covers everything except for my electric and my propane and my internet. Can't beat it. So you don't have that influx of properties hitting the market and institutions selling them just to get them off their books. So you don't have that pressure. The difference is people will hold on to their properties down here. So how does that affect the cycles? How does that mean has Sosua flatlined? Here's how the cycles work down here. I bought down here in 2010 the first time, coming out of the downturn. I didn't know where the bottom was, but I knew things were bad. I knew things were at the lowest price I thought they could go at that point. Thought they were going to go up. So I thought it was safe to jump in. So I've watched prices hold for 10 years down here. As an example, I bought my first condo in the Garden Condos for 74,000 American dollars. That included the furniture. Do you know how much I sold it for? $74,000. This was pre-COVID. I sold it to the guy I bought my villa from, the villa that I'm living in now, the villa that I am selling. For 10 years, everything was flat. Everything stayed the same because you didn't have institutions pushing down the market overall because there wasn't a lot of bank loans down here. Back then, there was unheard of for somebody to have a foreigner, a gringo, to have a bank loan. So prices, from my experience, when you get into the highs and then you start coming down, you're hitting the lows before they come back up, that's like a 10-year cycle. Prices stay the same, and then they rocket up. They hit the new level going into the new downturn, and then they stay. That becomes the baseline for the next 10 years. I think that's where we're at now. I think you're going to see the prices of a 4-bedroom villa in Hispaniola is at this price. That's what they're going to be pretty much selling for an extended period of time. A condo, 1-bedroom condo downtown Abate, you're going to see that hold its price for an extended period of time. Now, does that mean you're not going to get a deal? Absolutely. There's deals here to be had. But remember, the people that are going to have first access to those deals are guys like me, who live here, who have personal relationships, who have business relationships, who run into the people that will have just everyday talk, who are going to tell you, hey, so-and-so's selling his villa, something happened. He has to unload it. That's how you get the deals down here. You're not going to get them from a real estate agent. You're going to get them from a private seller. The other thing that I think is important for people to understand, how do those deals come about? Well, remember when I said earlier, when I was talking about the United States, people buy things they really can't afford? The campers, the boats, the jet skis, the properties in the Dominican Republic. Well, when these homeowners up north who are not at retirement age, who are a couple years before, 10 years before, they have a choice. I got to stay working because I can't retire. Do I lose my house, which is my residence, or do I unload my investment property? They unload the investment property. That's what they do. That's where the deals are. I got to save my house. I got to unload this. So when you see that term fire sale, that's where it comes up. Now's the time for the investors to come into the market. This is where the money's made. You don't buy it high, you buy low. Now, you know things are going to, I believe things are going to stay flat for a while. You find that deal by living down here, by having maybe a friend down here who will turn you on to it. But now's the time. I'm excited. That's why I'm selling my villa. I have a good friend who's selling me his villa at a great price, newer villa, so I'm unloading my villa. But am I going to lose money? No, I'm not going to lose money because I bought my villa pre-COVID, before everything shot up. So I have room to work. So if I'm buying a villa I'm getting a break on financially, I can sell my villa at a different price than everybody else to move it. Not that I need to, but that's how you make financial deals in the down market. It all boils on equity. How much equity do you have in that villa? And that's the problem. Most people don't keep the equity in their properties. They get some money, they pull it out. Now let's talk about the guys that actually have mortgages down here. You don't get 30-year mortgages down here, from my understanding. It's a 5-year balloon. That's what most people are telling me I got to refinance every 5 years. What happens if the bank doesn't want to refinance you? Now you got to unload that property and you have no room to move. You cannot go below what you owe on it. And a lot of guys down here are taking too big of mortgages down here. Be careful of getting into mortgages down here. And I'm going to be that asshole again. This is gospel. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't care who gets offended. Every person who is pushing a mortgage down here is making money off of you getting that mortgage. They're not doing it because they're your friend. They're doing it so they can pay their bills, so they can make a profit, so they can get money out of you. Be careful who you take advice from. You're better off buying cash down here, not getting a mortgage. If you're going to get a mortgage down here, you want the owner to hold that mortgage, not a banking institution. Do your homework on the mortgages down here if you're going to do it. I strongly go against mortgages down here. So guys, with that being said, we are in that downturn right now. I believe things are going to go flat, are going to stay flat for at least 8 to 10 years. You're going to see guys, you're going to see owners selling their property at the fire sales because they're going to have to unload them to save properties in the States. Things are not as good as people want you to believe, okay? I'm coming off one of the best high seasons I've ever had, but I also did a lot of improvements in Casa de Compai to get that market. The bar, the cigar lounge, redid all the condos on pretty much a brand new building. I think a lot of people are going to be unprepared, but if you're that prepared investor, you can come down here and pick up something that benefits your lifestyle. I'm going to start doing more videos about how to make money renting down here. I think that's what I'm going to do on site at Casa de Compai. So guys, I appreciate everybody watching. Give me a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and always remember, keep personal private and private personal. Peace out.